and become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of New Book Hooters. I am your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is a longtime friend of mine, COMMI3MARK. What's going on, brother? How you?
Hello, greetings. Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good. How are you? Like, how's your weekend been?
Oh yeah, that's right. It is the weekend. It's been good, man. I've been getting stuff done. I've had some voiceover stuff that I've had to do that I've gotten to do for some awesome people. Working with our boy Pedro Ang. He's doing some animation and he's doing some voice stuff for him. So it's been a blast. And I'm working on a cover for Shattermare Comics for Harley Heroes #7. So it's been a busy weekend. How's your weekend been?
Well, we did the launch on Friday.
That's right.
I've been going on shows like over the weekend. It's now Sunday, like 11 p.m. or whatever. So a nice, like, relaxing and chilled out kind of show, like to take us into the new week. So
That's right.
yeah, it's all right. I'm relaxed.
Good. Congratulations on the launch, man. I know you've been planning this one for a while. We're gonna talk about this and the inspiration for this and all the stuff that you got going on after this. But first, you know how we roll over here. We got to say hi to the chat. Gotta give all hail to the chat. What's up, Past Master Jan? Good to see you. We got Neff, hail nerds, hail Pasta Master.
Hello.
Mr. Von Stugel, what? Turned down for what? Alex VRB, I'm playing Gloomhaven with my nerd friends, but I wanted to stop by and say hail the chat, hail the panel, or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping by, Alex. Appreciate you.
I'm so happy that or whatever is the one that became the catchphrase rather than like her, which is another one that in the beginning people kept saying to me, like, why'd you keep saying like her? And it's like, I'm just saying like and then pausing like for the next word, like while I'm looking for it.
Right. Let's see. I appear to have misplaced my bottle opener. That is not good. Oh, there it is. Ah. All right. Because for this next chat. Skull, Feline.
I'm drinking beer like a man. I am drinking a wine and green monster cocktail like a Superman.
Holy shit, dude! Out of a chrome cup too. Hey, you know that's how you roll. Yeah, see, I'm
It's the future.
Drinking Stella Artois today.
Yeah, Stella Artois is a funny word because Stella means like stars, and Artois is French for star. Like
so it's stars.
Yeah. It's like it's like calling your beer Galaxy Universe or something. Like, it's just dumb.
Or calling a dragon Draco.
Yes.
Calling it the same thing in a different language. Hey, you know what? In that first language, it sounds super sexy. You know, it sounds great. It makes sense. But in the context of like actual language, yeah, not so much. Yeah, this was actually one of my dad's beer glasses that he gave me. So I drink this every time I drink out of this. I remember my pops.
I assume that's not traditional then in America for people to use beer glass. Like, is that a bit?
It depends. It depends. Depends on your preference. I prefer, when I'm at home at least, to drink out of a beer glass. I mean, hell, I have a Stein that I drink just about everything out of. It's actually Spider-Man 2, the one with Tobey Maguire and Alfred Molina. Spider-Man 2 Stein that I drink just about everything out of. Coffee, beer, you know. The only thing I don't actually drink out of it is scotch. I've got specific glasses for that. But let's see. What's up, good stuff? Good to see you. Speaking
Hello.
of beer, my buddy Good Stuff there, he's got a show called I'd Tap That. He's got where he tastes all kinds of different beer. I have now become Death, the Destroyer of Worlds. Yeah, that's a favorite opening for a lot of death metal bands. You know, Oppenheimer. You know,
and it's Oppenheimer quoting the Mahabharata. Like, it's great, and it's a line that Krishna says, like in the big epic Hindu Infinity War that happens at the end, like of the story.
Right, when they essentially talk about like just about nuclear war. Yeah,
and there's all spaceships, and then Hindu magic and aliens and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, there's some really fucking far out cool shit in Hindu mythology. I had to take a world mythologies class in college, and you know we studied briefly. We studied briefly a bunch of different mythologies, and it's just there's some crazy shit going on over there. You know, the flying machines and all that. What's going on, comics mate? Good to see you, Dean. Welcome. Let's see. We got Eric the Guapo. The intro music always reminds me of Beavis and Butthead. Okay.
I can see that.
Yodam Dogstar, hail. What's going on?
Hello.
Sleep is for the dead, says Past Master Dan.
It's not wrong.
Let's see.
Like, wouldn't it be great if the day was like 12 hours longer?
Right? Then you can get more done. Or you could sleep for 12 more hours and get the same amount done that you did before.
Sounds great to me. We just need like a bigger planet, like about 50% bigger. Like, I don't think it only take a few generations to adjust, like to a 36-hour day.
Right. Well, I mean, if transhumanists are to be believed, will evolve past sleep, you know. That way we don't. That way we're in a constant hallucination and we have no idea what's going on.
Being permanent sleep.
What's going on, Lola? Good to see you.
Hello.
Welcome. All right. Oh, and we got an Amanda B. Welcome, Amanda B. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming to hang out. So at the beginning, I said that Mark is a longtime friend, and that's true. We've known each other since kind of the beginning of CG. Used to hang out together on Rotten Glory's channel. Used to pop in here and there and be guests on different shows. How did you kind of get into this whole this whole ecosystem, this whole scene over here, this indie comics scene?
So it's an interesting question about how I got into indie comics in particular. So like I'd made a couple of books for my own amusement, like that I'd never thought like were anything. Like they only existed to prove to me the idea that I could make a comic book. Like so I made them, and I came to Twitter to share them with people for nothing, because I just wanted people to read it and say, yeah, that's a comic. Like make a comic for me. Do you know what I mean? Like I thought I needed someone's permission, like, to do it.
Right.
So
the validation. Yeah.
Well, I didn't believe it, and it is the point. So I was trying to like give them away for ages, and no one was interested. And then, so I joined Twitter, and been on Twitter a bunch of times, and every time that I've been on Twitter before, it's put me into left-wing Twitter. You know, how there's different bubbles, and circles and stuff on Twitter that are, it's like a network of who you follow in relation to who other people follow, feeds, who they're going to suggest that you follow, and all of this kind of stuff.
Right.
And I came to Twitter, and the first two people that I followed was Gail Simone and Eric Larson, because they had both done Daredevil comics in it. And I was coming, I was like, I got this Daredevil thing, that's the obvious two people to go to first, and to show it to. But then what happened was the algorithm, as I was following comic book people, just put me over here. And for a long time, I was hesitant to come in because of my prejudice surrounding the gate suffix in the word Comixgate. So I thought it was a bad letter. Thing. And then I came in and I was like, oh, it's not that bad.
Oh wait, this is what all the fuss is about? Seriously?
Comixgate is no worse than a microcosm of the mainstream of the comic industrial complex. They have the same interdramas between their groups that we do. You know what I mean?
Petty mean girl bullshit. Yeah.
Everyone does that. I'm guilty of it as well. What can I say?
Well, I mean, I've heard quite a few stories about stuff going on in the industry on multiple occasions from people. I used to work for an artist down in Orlando. I have worked conventions. I mean, this is you talk about the comic book industry, especially amongst the creatives. It is, and I know that this word has kind of gotten a bad rap, but it kind of has a stink on it. But community, it's a small community of people, for lack of a better term, and word gets around. The word. So if you're a petty bitch, it's gonna get around that you a petty bitch.
That's very true.
The whole well, we knew that he was acting like that with the whole we won't take advantage of women and the whole stand or whatever thing that they were trying to prove. But every single one of the motherfuckers that said that shit, oh well, we knew that he had been like that at one time, but we didn't know that he was still like that. It's okay, come on, if you know about it, then you should have said something about it. Anyway, I don't want to get into that in particular. My point is,
walk away from Epstein Island, and get back onto subject.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's a small network of people, and if you show your ass and act like a petty bitch, people are going to find out about it, and it gets around. So it's best to just be cool, be awesome. And I even know. I'm sorry, I don't even know where I got off on that tangent from. What were we talking about?
Goodstuff Comixgater in the chat says, I came to CG through the glory hole. I didn't even know there was an entrance. That's not surprising.
There. Oh no, my screens are really bright. I might have to dim my brightness down over here.
I tried streaming with sunglasses on once, and you can't see a thing. It's crazy, the difference.
Do you remember the goggles that I used to wear on every stream? I would not be seen without my goggles. And then I started doing topic lists with Jason, and I was like, it seems kind of stupid to be in goggles every single week. So and now I save the goggles for the sing along of Doom. So yeah. Anyway, we were talking about how we got into CG and how it's not what everybody says that what the Wikipedia says, what the outside influences say. You hang out here, you see people passionate about comic books, see people passionate about good story, and being kind to one another, helping.
in like I don't know, like the stuff that I make, Krishna
Mm-hmm.
Kid less so, but the other books that I've made, like are really offensive, like to somebody who wants to be offended on it, like
Right.
the
Somebody looking to be offended about
yeah,
something. Sure.
there's definitely like something in there that will trigger you. Don't worry, like you'll find it. Um, and that was never going to work, like in the mainstream, and it like that
Right.
I would never get anything because of the controversial like way and the controversial things that I do or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, or they'd be seen to be controversial, coming from the
Yeah.
mainstream or whatever.
They'd
Like,
they'd ruffle feathers, but I mean, that's what indie comics have always done. Indie
mhm.
comics have always ruffled the feathers of the mainstream.
Yeah,
That's what
this is
indie comics are for.
yeah, it's the punk like opposite to the pop music of
Yeah,
the comic industrial complex.
I agree. I agree. And punk is also always, well, not always, but it is often DIY as fuck. And now I remember when we first started talking and hanging out, you were putting together what was it, Best Korea, and you
Yeah,
did your own foil cover of that one.
uh, that was a huge smash. That was like yes, I just wrapped the books in tin foil in it and redrew the Kim Il Sung and Best Korea logo like on the front in permanent marker. In fact, like the parts where it says the adventures of and Best Korea, like a hand scratched in by like
Yeah.
I had a really fine permanent marker that had run out, like and I was like scratching it into the foil, like
with
had
the
to.
metal tip.
Mhm. Like and the best Korea was only like $9 or something like that, and then those silver ones they were like $35, and people were like, "Whoa, look at that! Give me one of those! Like, I want one of those." Someone bought two of them. Like, it was crazy. Like,
It's fucking brilliant. I love it. I love it. And that's what I'm saying. That's the DIY indie spirit, man. Like I remember when I was seeing that stuff and I was like, this has such a crumb feel to it. And speaking of which, Past Master Dan says, I remember when Crumb hit the scene and the world lost its mind. Exactly. Crumb did his own thing and he ruffled feathers, and that's what that's what your stuff reminded me of. Just because you were saying whatever you wanted with your book and you were making it your way,
mhm,
and it
mhm.
was it had just that underground DIY feel that I fucking dig, man. I thought it was I thought it was
I
fucking
I
great.
think particularly with Best Korea, like less so with Not Daredevil because that was easier to do. Like,
Right.
but I think that even if you read all of Best Korea and you didn't think it was funny, like, and you thought it was awful, like, you'd still put it down and then be like, "Ah, it was a good idea though, wasn't it?" Like, like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah, I was really happy with that. I really like that book. It's very funny. Like every so often, I go and I read it again.
Yeah.
It's just great.
I mean, I'm kind of asking questions out of order here, but will you ever do any more with
Another.
Best Korea?
So I launched Best Career on February the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only ever launch it like on leap years. Like so the next one is in 2024, and if I don't do one then you'll have to wait till
Right.
2028
Okay.
to
All
get
right. So
one.
got a couple of years to wait, but gives you a little time to play with there. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Past Master Dan's bringing up Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. Yep, that's another Gilbert Shelton, another mainstay in the original indie comics scene, like the underground comics from the '60s and the '70s. You know, Crumb and Gilbert Shelton were two of the big heavy hitters of the underground comics movement back then. I don't know. There's always been a counterpoint to the mainstream. It's just
Mhm.
a lot of us grew up reading the mainstream. It's the characters that kind of got us into this realm of comics. But I mean,
yeah, even what was the mainstream before was still only the mainstream with like specky nerds in it. Like now it's the mainstream. Like it's even like an even bigger like juggernaut in a different sense. You know what I mean? Like your nan knows who the Avengers are now. Like
yeah. But who knew who the Avengers were back in, like, the 70s? Only people that read comics.
Most people didn't even know who the Avengers were. Like when Iron Man came out in it, and you had to say to your friend at the cinema, "Oh, that's Nick Fury." Like, no, people didn't know any of that stuff in it. Like now, like people do.
Yeah, I mean, it's those the first 10 years of those movies changed the landscape. It made Marvel and DC. I mean, DC with Batman. Batman's kind of always been a household name, right?
Sure.
Ever since the '60s with Adam West. But those movies for Warner Brothers, the Michael Keaton ones, those really like cemented Batman in the public mind. And that didn't really happen for Marvel until the whole Avengers, the first that first 10 years.
First phase,
that first phase really kind of set it in, and then it just became a juggernaut. Yeah. What's up, Fanta? Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out.
Hello.
Let's see. Pastmaster Dan says, ask Mark about how he's in his second artist, and I, for one, love it. The guy he has now his tits up. You have a better artist now than you did before?
I would never say that. I have a different artist from what I had before. I have a better employee than I had before. Like
fair.
There was a guy like that we did all the concept work with, like to come up with the characters, and he drew the first 20 pages of issue 1, and then he just ghosted me in it, like and didn't speak to me for months.
Unprofessional as fuck. Holy shit.
So I messaged him on Christmas Day, and I said like, "Merry Christmas, bro." So I'd remember Christmas Day on it because it's like a major day or whatever. And then 2 days later, I messaged Vinny, who had just been doing like some other little concept-y things, pin-ups, that kind of stuff, just doing like drawings for me, whatever. And I said, I've got this other book that I've written, this little 30-page book. If you can draw this whole book like before the other guy even checks and reads his message from me, then I'll give you like the big job, like, and you can draw KRISHNA Kid for me. And then 3 months later, like, he handed the book in and it done. Like,
oh jeez. That's how it goes. There's never forget that there's always somebody out there that is more hungry, more ready, more willing to get the work done and do it well.
And
somebody that's willing to do the work. Everybody remember that.
The new artist, Vineet, he's actually a Hindu. Like, so he's like emotionally invested in the story already.
Oh, no kidding. That's fantastic. All right.
And so like I'll say like, and then what if we do it like this? He can like say, nah, that's not, like, you've misunderstood that, or it would be more like this. So there's an example in the Duryodhana Purana. There's
that's
a
invaluable, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So in the Duryodhana Purana, there's a scene with a goat a page with a goat on. And he did it to me, and he colored it, toned it or whatever. Then he sent it to me, and I was like, bro, can we make the goat white instead, like black goat? It's a bit weird, isn't it? Like, and he said we don't have white goats in India, like, and I didn't know that, innit? Like, I'd have filled it all with white goats. Like, I've never,
Right.
I,
Wouldn't
I've
even think
definitely
about it.
never seen a black goat in person. Like, I can imagine what it looks like. I may have seen a picture of one before, but like, crazy. I would never have guessed.
Welcome, Dave. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, hello.
Pastmaster Dan wants to know if there are any Vinmas. Vimna. How do you say
Yeah,
that word, Mark?
Vimanas is how
Vimanas.
I say that. Like, that's a thing. I will answer that question. But people are really scared, like, of saying like the words, like they're gonna say them wrong, and then they appeal to me, like, to tell them how. And it's
Right.
like,
Well, I figure you've
I'm
done
not
the
even.
research.
Yeah, but I'm not even 100% sure that how I'm saying them is right, and it like.
I mean, it looks like Vimanas.
Yeah. So to answer that question, there's not in this book. To answer your question of what is that, those
The
are
flying
like,
machine.
yeah, they're the flying machines. Yeah. So there is a character that is in the Duryodhana Purana 2 or whatever that has like a flying chariot,
Mm-hmm.
like but not in the first issue. That character's not really there. And no, not in this saga. Like, but in the next one there will be some flying machines, at least one flying machine.
There you go. So you gotta stay tuned, Pastmaster Dan. What is the I mean, obviously, you know and Dragon Ball Z, the Hindu mythology and Dragon Ball Z. But has this story been kicking around in your head for a long time? Has this been one that you've always wanted to tell? Like, you've kind of been interested in this, in Hindu mythology and this, or is this something that just kind of came about one day and you're like, huh, I'm gonna roll with this?
So there's both things are kind of true at the same. Well, so like when I read the Bhagavad Purana, like when I was a teenager, like this is like the pictures that I had in my head when I was reading the original texts in it.
Right.
And then for the next 20 years or whatever, I kept my eye open for that book. Like, and I've got a bunch of Krishna books, like, and none of them are like this on it. And then one day I was working on a different thing, a mood board for an AI project that I was doing with Narwhal, like 2 years ago or something. And then I just had the vision in it, and all of Krishna Kid just appeared to me in one go, like 12 issues worth. Like, and I rushed in here to just write it all out, like 144 pages, like beating out like the entire series from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, both.
Oh,
And it is
that's fucking awesome. That's see, I love it when old things that have been around for a while get a new lease on life and become a new creative endeavor. You know, I think that's amazing. You know, it's kind
but
of like the a part of the whole writer never throwing something away. You know, up here. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, unlike at SJW as well, I haven't like changed everything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are like costume changes that I've made. Like,
Right.
I've moved like some things around. So I've smushed events together, like things like that. But everything's like still, I can point to something and say, well, it happened here.
Mm-hmm. Right. Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
There you
So
go.
the
There you go,
Bhagavad.
Past Master Dan.
You nailed it. The Bhagavad Gita is just Krishna's speech, like
Mm-hmm.
to Arjuna at the Kurukshetra war. So that's just one chapter, like of the longest epic poem written in human history.
they did like their epic poems back in antiquity, didn't they? Because you've got Nordic epic poems, you've got Hindu epic poems. I mean, that's and Jesus, Beowulf was an epic poem. So they're all over our history. So it's very interesting, the connections in antiquity, especially when you're studying mythology.
Yeah, it's very easy to locate archetypes in the gods and in the characters, and common themes, like virgin births and
floods,
healing powers, and all kinds of things, throwing lightning, whatever it might be. All the religions and mythologies have a little bit of overlap with each other in some way.
Yeah,
some more than others.
Yeah, definitely some more than others. Some kind of veer wildly into their own thing. Okay, Fanta was asking a question. She's staying with a friend. Hen wants to know where in the UK my guest is from.
I come from the city of Birmingham. It's the second biggest city in the country, but probably the sixth most famous or something. I think to a non-English person, if you had to guess what the second biggest city was, it wouldn't be what would come to your mind. You'd suggest Liverpool or Manchester or something else.
Right.
Because those cities are famous for their football teams or their musicians or whatever. My city is famous for factories supplying them munitions for World War II and building Spitfires and stuff. It's not.
Hell yeah, Spitfires are fucking great, man.
Yeah, they're all right. They're pretty shit now though.
Well, I mean, back in the day, you gotta get it in context. In context. Pastmaster Dan says Liverpool is a shithole. ... Probably. All right, let's take a look at the campaign here. Let me bring this up. So, Dragon Ball Z. This is kind of an odd pairing, but it's kind of like Michael Oden doing Julius Caesar, whatever it is, with the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, his SPQRO's Bizarre Adventure. I dig this whole taking taking history and mythology and I don't know, I guess jazzing it up.
Yeah, well,
making it hip for the kids, I guess.
This is just how I imagined it, how I imagined the original to be, because all of us, our realities are a mixture of all of the influences of information that we've received, in our lifetimes.
Absolutely.
So when I'm reading this, I'm thinking about it in the context of Dragon Ball and other things as well. There's a lot of Power Rangers in here, and there's Powerpuff Girls, and he looks a bit like Sonic, and the do you know what I mean? There's so many not so. I say that it's anime inspired, which mostly comes from Dragon Ball, little Pokemons or whatever as well.
Sure.
But it's mostly there's so much stuff that's from the same influence, and Power Rangers is a Japanese Sentai thing, and the Powerpuff Girls have those big eyes. I think that's very anime inspired.
It was what is it, Chris McCracken? Yeah, he was
Craig
absolutely
McCracken.
Influenced by anime.
Yeah,
and when Powerpuff Girls came out, he said that. Yeah.
What was the other example? I was trying. Yeah, whatever. Oh, Nintendo. That's what I was going to say. A lot of Nintendo influences, so all this Japanese influence that I was soaking up without even really realizing at the time, and it and then that's just all the things smushed together, like while I was reading it to make this.
Doki Doki Panic, the game that they reskinned for Super Mario Brothers 2. Did you ever play Super Mario Brothers 2, where you pick up the vegetables and you throw them at? It has a Hindu theme, actually. You know, because there's like snakes coming out of jars, and you know, flying carpets and whatnot. I mean, it's nuts. But yeah, they reskinned that game. It was a game called Doki Doki Panic that they reskinned for Super Mario Brothers 2, because the real Super Mario Brothers 2, the Japanese considered too hard for American audiences.
Yeah, probably correctly.
Probably correct. You know, I found that hilarious. They re-released it. They released it later as Lost Levels, and they are super fucking hard. Let me tell you. Not impossible, but super fucking hard. So, oh, hey, look. So, I can now scroll through the actual campaign and not have to. Oh, this is wonderful. All right.
Mine does that as well, and I've been on shows over the weekend that it doesn't happen on. So I don't know, like, why,
interesting,
or how that's going on, but it is.
Okay, so this is the first time that I've seen this, because I absolutely love this. It makes showcasing campaigns a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Like when I wrote the Best Career campaign, one of the things that I did was I made sure that the campaign was exactly the same length as all of the tier boxes when they had been opened after the guest had read them in it. So like that there would always be like an image on the left, like to coincide with. You know, as we're going back down through the tiers, and it like, I put a lot of effort into these campaigns. Yeah. Really hard about how to make them.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, planning, thinking about, you know, making sure you are getting everything to line up properly. I mean, hell, getting things to look properly while on the net or when you're printing things out, that's one of the biggest headaches of doing like any kind of like, you know, layout work. You know, design work in that regard. I mean, that was one of my least favorite things to do, especially when I had to use Quark. I don't know if any of you out there had to deal with design stuff back in the late '90s, early 2000s, you know, up to mid 2000s. But Quark was the thing. It got replaced by InDesign. Thank fuck. So it was a lot easier to work with, but Quark was the most curmudgeonly, awful goddamn program. So yeah, trying to get things to lay out properly is great. And look at you with your motion graphics. This is awesome. All right, so what's the elevator pitch for KRISHNA KID here?
If you read just read that paragraph there. Whenever humanity start there. Like is that sentence is the sentence in it. You know, like if you're only going to read 2 sentences, that's the second one you read, and then you buy it. Like that's how it works.
Whenever humanity is threatened with evil, corruption, and chaos, Lord Vishnu, the supreme personality of Godhead, descends to the earth in the form of an avatar to restore cosmic order and protect the balance between good and evil. Lord Vishnu has returned to Earth in the form of KRISHNA KID.
Yeah, so it's basically Krishna and his brother and all of his friends like hiding in this village from an evil king that's trying to kill Krishna. Because if you scroll down a little further, you'll see the king. There's Krishna and his brother. I think it's that's Brahma. That's the creator of the universe or whatever. So while Krishna is on Earth, Vishnu is not in heaven in it because they're the same person. Like he's come down in human form. Right. So while he's not in heaven, like the question is, who's in charge of heaven? Like so they're trying to deal with that. And the easy solution is let's just go and find Krishna, like before anything bad happens, because obviously you got Shiva the Destroyer, and now with Vishnu out of the way, like maybe this is when he's gonna come, like and do some destroying.
I mean, is it my turn? Is it now my turn to go destroy shit?
Yeah, because he spent like all of eternity just waiting for like his big shot or whatever. This could be it. Like, so Krishna has come back to Earth to end evil or whatever, and there's a prophecy that he's going to kill this evil king, King Kansa. Which, if you scroll down, it should be the next image.
What's up? What about? Welcome.
Hello.
Let's see. Scroll down.
Yeah, so this
Man,
is
look at that
uncle,
mustache.
This is his
Damn.
uncle, the king, that has come to Earth specifically to kill in it. And the king knows that he's gonna kill him, so he's like been training, like, because you know he's got to fight like Magic Jesus boy, and he's been sending like demons like after him like every week, one a week, like Rita Repulsa, instead of just sending all the demons that you've got at the same time, like so he's like an issue by issue, chapter by chapter, like Rita Repulsa type character that goes all through the first 12 issues of Krishna Kid before they have like their big showdown, and we find out did the prophecy come true. Spoiler alert, obviously it did. Like I don't think that anyone's going to cry. That's like a calf demon that he fights against, like which is pretty nice.
Wow. These motion pics are a nice touch, man. They add a lot to the campaign page.
Yeah, and one of the things that I want to put in your mind, like when you're reading the campaign, is, oh, this would make a great cartoon. Like I'm taking you halfway, like to thinking that in it, like and it just makes it feel more alive.
Look at that. So how many issues? So you said the first 12 issues of this. How many issues do you have planned for Krishna Kid?
I've only got a solid 12 because when after his showdown with the king, like he leaves the town and then does all these other things, and there's not like this big long arc. That's when the story starts to cross over more with the Duryodhana Purana, like which is the other book about the villain or whatever. So I don't really know is the answer, like beyond these 12. Like I've got this one long arc to tell, then I'll look again, because the other book, the Duryodhana Purana, has as much, if not more, like to play with inside, and like including the Krishna and his brother like crossover into the story, and they're related and interconnected like in a proper way. Like it's really great.
That's awesome. So it I guess it sounds like it expands after this portion.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and there'll be like a tonal shift as well, because Krishna Kid is light and joyous and about the power of friendship, like but when after he leaves the town, like it gets a lot darker, like the story does, because he's an adult and like things get harder,
like life has a tendency to do. You know,
basically, yeah.
And that's it's kind of an echo of Dragon Ball Z Dragon Ball going into DBZ. You know, life was a lot simpler for Goku when he was a kid.
I jokingly refer to the future as Krishna Man, which I'm not going to call it, but I still don't have a better name than Krishna Man.
I mean, it gives you the idea. It gives you the idea.
I figure I've got maybe 6 or 7 years, like, but I need to nail down a name for it, and I'm terrified that I'm going to be back here in 7 years saying, "Oh, it's Krishna Man. Don't you think it's kind of great?" Like,
I mean, you could always use, you could always use a a different word for man, in a different language, that kind of disguise it, kind of like we were talking about at the beginning. Yeah, with my Stella Artois.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll just call him Krishna or something. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go.
Phil Diaz in the chat says Mr. Krishna.
Mr. Krishna, there you go.
Option.
I mean, there's some good kind of alliteration there too. Mr. Krishna, you got that rhyme going on.
Like, so I'll give you like some examples of like things that I can pull from like in the future. So there's a story where Krishna meets the last of the bear people and fights him for a gemstone. That's like a cool thing. There's a race of bear people. There's a story where
that fights a bear for a gemstone. That sounds tailor made for a manga, a comic book, an anime.
There's one where he has to go under the sea to fight a conch demon to bring his master's son back to life, and it, like his trainer, like his sensei or whatever, his guru,
right?
Like so much stuff. Like it's gonna
that sounds like a variation on the Orpheus myth, having to go into the underworld to retrieve her. I don't know the rest of the story. I don't know how it ends, but I mean, it's just that's where my mind went. Yeah, a lot of what you said, it seems like it is tailor-made for making a comic book out of. Now, I remember Grant Morrison talking about doing some kind of comic book series or something. I remember either reading about it online or in a magazine once, and that's all I ever heard about it. Never again. So I think it's cool that you're actually, you've got this thing, going on.
So like I was just saying earlier, like I've looked for this book before, and it like because I wanted it to read for myself anyway. And the Grant Morrison one, like it had come across my attention. It's called 18 Days. And it tells the story of the Kurukshetra War, this big infinity war of Hinduism or whatever that lasts for 18 days, the big civil war between the rival families and stuff, which is where my story is going to end, like in the future. But in that, imagine being like, imagine going to watch Infinity War and everyone's appearing and you don't know who anyone is. Like when people die, like you're not like emotionally invested in them or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm going right back to the beginning and it like and showing you like these characters as children, and you can see who's their uncle, like, and who trained this guy, and so when this guy dies on day 14 at the hands of this guy, now like that hurts way more because they used to be best friends, or
right.
Do you know what I mean? Like
it's got that emotional weight then.
Like it's really beautiful. It's so good, like the original source material is like and it's I can't believe that this just doesn't already exist like in this kind of a format.
It was waiting for somebody to transcribe it in a way that is compelling, and yet still faithful to the source material. Hey man, it was waiting for you. Clearly, it was waiting for you to tell this story.
What about in the chat just said it was waiting for you? Like at the same time that you said it, like.
That'll come through in just a second, and what about we'll get a kick out of that. All right, so let's I guess we should probably start talking about like the awesome looking book you got here, The Complete Eye of Brahma Saga Gold Collected Edition. So and that's your featured tier here, $21. So tell me what it's all about, Willis.
So that gold one is all 90 pages, all 3 issues of Krishna Kid in one collected edition, and it telling the Eye of Brahma saga from beginning to end. It's done in this like Indian Tanjore painting style. Like I don't know if you've seen, but like you just do like a regular painting and then glue like gold and gemstones to it and stuff.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
and you know, it gives this 3D like embossed effect or whatever. And I wanted to recreate that on the cover as best as I could. In fact, I got the idea from Rotten Glory like a very long time ago, because on the cover of Runes of Ragnarok or whatever his book was called,
Oh yeah.
It had this thing where it made me want to touch it and it like to see if it was actually embossed, even though I knew that it wasn't. And I keep saying to people, I just want that. Like I want people to want to touch it and then touch it and then go, oh yeah, well I knew it wasn't 3D anyway. Like
you want to
like,
pass that feeling along to people. Yeah, I knew it wasn't.
You work in an actual comic book shop, and you know the difference between someone looking at all the books on the shelves and then the one that they reach out like and touch on it. Like it's far more likely that they're gonna buy one that they actually pick up than one that they just look at. That's my theory.
Yeah, I mean, and it definitely catches the eye, and it entices. It catches the eye, and then entices one to want to touch it. To see.
I also kind of wanted it to look like an ancient, like forbidden book that you've just found, like in a temple or something.
Right.
Like.
Oh. We'll have to hang on. We might have to actually look at the add-ons and stuff. You got all kinds of add-ons back there. That's awesome. Hang on. Let's scroll back here. I really do like the motion pics. Those are a very nice touch, and they set the mood for the story.
So right at the very top of the campaign, I've got some blue text, some regular text written in blue that is colored blue by HTML. See there? And there's no option to do that like on the campaign builder. Like you have to do it in HTML, like in the source code and stuff. So I've been pushing like the boundaries of what can I do, like because it doesn't accept like all HTML code, only like some things. Like, and I was trying to have columns or like contents where you can click at the top and it will jump down to like the correct part of the campaign. Didn't support that either, but
oh yeah, no hot links and no columns. Yeah, no, I can see that. They probably have restrictions within the box, their HTML box here. Yeah, but bravo to you for getting that changed.
So the point is, I got that blue text. All that was at the top was that blue text, like in the picture, and I ran to like Billy Bascom and I was like, Billy, look, I think I've done something revolutionary. Like I think I might have like changed the game again. And he was like, what? And then I showed him. I was like, this text is blue. Like, because
isn't it amazing?
Normally, people put like a picture of the text there, like, and then the search engines can't read it, and it like. So it's a thing that I think about when I see these beautiful long campaigns that are one or like a series of images or whatever. Like I think, you haven't actually got any writing like on your campaign for Google to read. Yeah, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Kid.
What's up, Silver? Welcome. Let's see. What's up, Frog G? Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming to hang out. Good to see you.
Hello.
All right, so this is going to come out
before we look at the tiers. There is like the second book that I want you to look at, like the anti-Krishna Kid that you can get alongside Krishna Kid. So these are just the wraparound covers for the floppy versions, you know, because you can buy the collected edition or
Yeah.
the 3 matching floppies. And it's past this not that I'm trying to like discount these, that Matt Barr one there with the snake and Shiva on
That's fucking
is sick.
rad.
But again, that's not what I'm trying to show you. That'll be the 3rd one. That's not done yet. There's the manga variant and your 6
6
a.m.
a.m.
sticker, the Lidl print and the poster, but it's further down than this still. Like,
Look at all this cool shit, everybody. Look at all this.
all right, and then.
But wait, there's more.
This is the other book, and the Duryodhana Purana. So this is the tragedy that I wrote while I was being ghosted in it, like, and you know, destroying this woman, like, really made me feel a lot better, like, about myself and reinvigorated for Krishna Kid. This is the Duryodhana Purana issue 1, the curse of the 100 sons, about this princess that gets cursed to have 100 sons, and naturally drama and tragedy follow that.
Yeah, sounds like.
And the reason that book's exciting is that it's already done. Like, this is the book that Vineet had to draw to get permission. Like, you know, this was his audition to draw Krishna Kid. Like, so it's already like finished, and like, this is the manga variant. All the books have like manga variant versions.
You can buy. That's awesome.
Like, I say it's done. I have about 6 changes like that I've got to make, but like, I could send you this, and it would be an acceptable like read, and it like
right.
You know what I mean.
What's up, Rick? Good to see
Hello,
you. Thanks
Rick.
for coming to hang out. Frog G says that's a lot of kids.
It is, and she's blindfolded as well, because the man that she's forced to marry is blind. So she wears like this blindfold in protest. So not only does she have to deal with 100 screaming sons and a daughter, she's got to do it blindfolded as well. Like
did not make that
nightmare.
Bigger. It's funny how the trying to zoom in on these pages, how it works. You'd think this would shift over and use all this space over here, but no, it just makes all the pictures smaller. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Matt Barr, isn't it?
Yeah. So all of the floppy books have these wraparound covers by Matt Barr and Billy Bascom.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that, like, I wanted all of them to be by the same person, so they would make their own little set, and it like
sure,
it's cool to have covers by different people or whatever. But this is like a complete set, like a whole saga by one.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh, absolutely.
Feels more complete. Like,
Avatar did sets like these for you know, like Warren Ellis books, like that he did with Juan Jose Rip, Black Summer. You know, they had entire just like sets that were, you know, just black and white wraparound covers. Dr. Sleepless did the same thing. You know, but just by one cover, or by one artist. Sorry. So I love this idea, man. And Matt does fantastic work. I mean, this is great. You know.
Yeah.
And
all of those covers as well, like they're all color coded with each other. Like, so, you know, one's red and one's green and one's blue, and this one's white, and then there's another like making of book that's black. So that's because you know, when people take photos on Twitter of the book like that arrived, it will look nice in the photo, and it like for Silva says, did I see Ganesh in there? Yes, Ganesh is in the Duryodhana Purana. He's like writing it in the story, like kind of a meta thing. Yeah, that's the manga Death Note homage cover or whatever.
That's awesome. I love the way you've done variants and variation, because you've got the whole collected thing here. If somebody just wants to get the story and get, you know, that chunk, you know, get the story. But then for the collector, because, you know, this is comics. We love collecting, and we all grew up picking up floppies, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So having the separate floppies for people to pick up as well, and then having the continuity. I mean, it's a collector's dream, man. You know, and you can get all of this stuff. I'm assuming that you can add these on as
Yeah.
add these as add-ons in
Yeah.
the back, so you could get.
So a little bit of nuance or whatever that isn't
Yeah.
clear enough on the campaign is that the issues obviously deliver at different times, and like depending on issue 1 is going to deliver before issue 3, and obviously the Duryodhana Purana is basically done, and I can ship that straight away. But if you buy the gold collected edition with this as an add-on, then you have to wait like until the whole project is done. And I wanted to have this book made and ready first, like for like so people get like an instant gratification, and like once the campaign is closed, like they already
Like
get
an
a little
appetizer.
teaser. Like an appetizer, exactly.
Yeah. What's up, Canalis? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I haven't
It
seen
says, "Hail
Canalis
COMMI3MARK, the only
videos.
commie who is both good and alive." Oh, and we got a hockey. What's going on?
Yeah, so this comment from Hockey, he says, "Oh, look, a real interview." I thought Mark only did fake ones. So the night before the campaign launched, like I got to a point where I was basically finished with it. And I was in a Discord with Hockey, and I was like, "Hockey, can you do me like a really big favor?" And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Can you just do a fake show for me, like right now? Like, can we just do like a fake show, like right here?" And he did it, like, and he proper, like, it was great. It was a really good show as well. Like, it was really funny. Like the chat was like on fire. But it really helped me because there was still like little things that I'd missed, and I was able to like make notes of them like before the before actually submitting the whole campaign.
Yeah, I mean, that it's getting that extra perspective, that extra outside perspective that helps refine things. It's that last little bit of polish. Because the campaign page looks fantastic, man. I mean, I can tell that you've put a lot of thought in. Oh my God, that is so fucking cool. That is a Jack Kirby inspired Krishna Kid. That is fucking rad, dude.
Sick, innit? Don't you just want it on the side of your van?
Fucking cool shit, man. Wow. The blending of all of these different things. Like, I mean, this project kind of wears its influences on its sleeve wholeheartedly, doesn't it?
Like,
I love it.
It is what it is, isn't it? Like,
It's fucking cool, dude. And I love the fact that it's a concept that's been kicking around in the back of your head for a long time, and it got married and to something new, and it got updated and refreshed, and here it is.
It's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, and all my other old books are available. Like, while the campaign is, before we reach the target. Once we've reached the target, like, I'm gonna take those back off, and there's
limited time only, so y'all better jump on this shit now.
And I only put 10 issues of Best Career like into the pile because, like I said, I'm saving them for 2024 or 2028. Like when they'll be like that again.
Oh man, gotta have some of those original stock for the 100%.
Those are far more expensive than they were like back in the day. I think that Best Career costs the same as Krishna Kid, like at the moment, as the whole thing, and Best Career is like 30 pages or something.
It's rare. It's limited print run. I mean, this is what happens with indie comics. I mean, and it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes you miss out on stuff, and that's just the way it is. But sometimes you get in on that limited print run book, that goes on to, you know, hold its value and gain value just because, you know, it's limited. You know,
Yeah.
that's
And
just how it goes.
on Best Career, we burned loads of them. Remember, like people
I
paid me to
do
burn
remember that
them.
stream. I was on that
Like,
stream.
and that pushed the value of the remaining ones up as well. Like, so
Yeah,
it's great.
Jason keeps talking about burning the rest of the absolute books that he has. You know, which I mean, I've got mine, and I made sure that that my customers that were interested got theirs. So you know,
Yeah, I like the not Daredevils. Like, I'll carry on making those like forever probably. But the Best Career book, like you know, that's an assassination waiting to happen, and it like I don't particularly want to increase the number of them that exist in the world. So very limited number on those.
I'm completely okay if this is just very, you know, not all the way over there. That's hilarious, and you know that's thinking ahead. You know, that's thinking ahead. Frog G says, "I got my copy of Best Korea on this campaign. Everyone better hop on that deal before he runs out of stock." Feline says, "Stop book burning."
Yeah, that was part of the joke.
Yeah. Wait. I have something for this. Hang on. There it is.
That's the joke.
Yeah. That's the whole reason. And like he said, it drives up the price of the books. Yeah, well, American Comics. I don't know if I said hi to you, but welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. Let's see. Hockey says, "I don't like the idea of burning books. It seems such a waste." I agree. It's not my style, but I mean, it was a tier on his campaign, and he's got to live up to what he promised the backers.
Yeah, but people paid for me to burn them, and they paid more than it costs to buy the book, and they didn't have to pay shipping because I burned them at my own house. Like, it's a win-win-win-wins all the way around. Yeah.
Yep. That was a fun stream. Oh shit, man. I gotta say, like, it's awesome to see how far you've come, man. The stuff that you're doing, you're constantly doing new shit, and you know, pushing the boundaries of indie comics, man. So I just I fucking love it. So let's see. Take a look, man. You know, Barr is just killing it with these covers. Let me scroll back up here. I think it's fantastic that all your old stuff is available on this campaign.
Yeah.
And like Frog G said, y'all better jump on it. Yeah, and 6 a.m. stickers.
Yeah, at least 2.
Fuck yeah, love 6. He's awesome. Now the interior artist for the I'm not even gonna the secondary book that
you can
putting
say
out,
it. Believe in yourself.
Duryodhana Purana.
Yeah, you nailed it. Easy.
Ha! All right. So who's the interior artist on this one? Is it the same as
the same guy, Vinny? Yeah, like he's
that's right.
drawn...
You said that earlier. That was the tryout. You know, get this book done before. Good Lord. Just let that be a lesson to all of you hungry artists out there. You know, get your work done, because there's always somebody that's hungrier that will get the work done and take that job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't be a slack ass hack.
And Vinny's great because he's Indian as well. Like the amount that we're making off of this book is like peanuts or whatever, but for him, like, it's life-changing amounts in it. Like, and dude, that's really fantastic. Great. Like that, you know, he could draw a handful of pages, and that's like pays better than a full-time job. Like, it's really,
dude.
so
you know, it means something to him because this is, you know, this is his mythology. This is, you know, this intrinsic to his growing up, who he is.
And then
so, I mean,
he has this whole other thing as well of, you know, it's India, so people are saying to him like, oh, why aren't you a doctor or an engineer or something? And he's like, I just want to be an artist, like I just want to draw stuff. They're like, oh, you're gonna fail, like just get a government job, you know.
Fuck that noise.
All of that stuff, and I'm helping him
Hell
to
yeah,
stop
man.
from that, live his dream.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's punk as fuck. I love it. Love it. That is awesome. So, you know, simple as far as the tiers go. Lots of stuff that you guys can add on. Lots of story going on here, and T-shirts, dude. This campaign is set up fantastically, man.
Yeah, like so I got back I went to Paris like last week, and I got back 4 days before the launch, and I reckon I spent 60 hours like putting it together, and it like right up until the moment where I did that fake show with hockey, like as a warm up before launch night.
Yeah, I mean, I've yet to put a campaign together myself yet, but I imagine that, you know, it's kind of like packing. You know, you think you have everything, you think it's all ready to go, and then you run over everything that you think you know you need. You think you've got everything, and it's just you know you always end up missing something.
So far, I've found 2 things already, like that I've had to. Well, one that I've changed already, and one that I've still got to sort out. You know, things that I'd overlooked, like that was on my to-do list, but didn't get done.
Well, I mean, you know, there's again, it's sometimes that stuff only pops up once you start rolling. You know what I mean?
And as well, Indiegogo has this horrible habit of just forgetting everything that you just did. Like and reverting to previous saves and stuff like that. So a real nightmare. I've got like about 10 different versions of the campaign saved in Notepad, like in HTML, and for like as like backups and shit, because put so much hours into doing it.
Sorry, what was that?
I was just saying, so much effort, like to put it all together.
Well, I mean, the page looks fantastic, and I know I've said this a couple of times, but the motion graphics, man, you know, they add a lot to it. They make it fun, and setting that mood is important. You know, the artwork is great, beautiful looking book. I think people are gonna dig the hell out of this. So what after how? I guess what is next for you once you fulfill this book? Once this one. By the way, when are you planning to fulfill? I guess is the appropriate question for one of these type of shows.
So my target for book 1. So Krishna Kid issue 1 is already penciled. Like there are some things that need to be redone, but basically I said to Vinny, like before we launched our campaign, I need the book, the first issue, like penciled all the way through, so I can then go, okay, well, give me this panel off of page 7 finished, do all of page 12, like give me these 2 panels off page 15, like you know, so I can build the campaign and it, like
nice.
And from Monday will be when it start to, you know, fill in the rest of it. My hope is to have that delivered by sort of December, January, and then have each issue come out in 6-month like intervals. Like he showed me that he can do an entire black and white book in 3 months, and you know, he's getting faster, but at the same time also getting better, so the like time gain is like very minimal, you know, because getting better at doing the drawings. So it's taking
Right. Well, I mean, you get more refined in your process,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
that's-
get your eyes get more refined the way you see, and your hand-eye coordination. How many pages was the black and white?
it's
Headlamp Afghan?
31 pages, I think.
31 pages.
Yeah, 31
Nice.
story pages, maybe. And it's got a sweet mapping as well. I haven't even shown that on the campaign. Oh, it's in the trailer a little bit. You know, like there's a world map, like a world map.
Look at that.
You know, of all the different cities and kingdoms and stuff. Because when Krishna is an adult, the story is less about the power of friendship, and it's more like Game of Thrones or something, where you've got all these rival kingdoms, like with their own alliances, and then someone offends someone, and you know, then these two kingdoms are fighting, so different heroes come, like
Right.
loads of great stuff, like that I can't wait to show people.
A lot
'Cause, you know-
lot of drama to play with there.
Yeah, there's all these different kingdoms, and one of the things that I did was I got different concept artists to draw the characters from different kingdoms, so that they would come with their own like cultures, you know, that would come from the artist or whatever, so that all the kingdoms would look different from each other when they're in the big final battle. Like if they're all by the same person, it could be very easy for them all to not have the same boots, but you know, like all be, you know what I mean, like
Authentic.
trying to bring more variety and difference. And when we get to that big epic civil war thing at the end, and there's 25 people on a page all fighting, you need to be able to recognize who everyone is, like at a glance. So it's really important that you know, all the characters have their own like iconic style that you can spot like from a distance and be like, oh, that's Krishna's hair, and oh, that's that guy with 4 arms. Like
the
guy made of wood.
silhouette, character silhouette is important.
Some of that
you know?
also, yeah.
Being able to determine who the characters are just at a glance. You know, Batman's got a distinct silhouette. I mean, even though Spider-Man is just basically, you know, a body kind of like contorted, usually and lanky. I mean, you can tell kind of it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, so now like you have to extrapolate that up to an entire culture in it. Like where I want it to be able that you can see a guard.
Yeah.
And know which kingdom like it is in it, because maybe he's wearing the onion hat like the king of that kingdom wears, or whatever in it. Like that's put a lot of thought into all of those things.
Avatar, I mean, I never really got to watch the entire series, but Avatar, The Last Airbender, I always felt did a really good job of making, you know, each kingdom seem very distinct. Like I said, I've only seen like I don't know, maybe a couple handfuls of episodes throughout the entire series, so maybe 10 episodes throughout the entire length of the original series. So I mean, you know, I could be wrong, but to me that seemed like a good you know, good world building. I mean, that's what we're all looking for, right? Good world building.
Some deep stuff. Past Master down in the chat asks, any news on the Krishna Kid plushie rumor I just started? I would love to do a Krishna Kid plushie. Like, imagine how cool the hair would look. Like, you know, but it's so far away. Like, I've got a real long vision for what I want to do with this. That's obviously the kind of thing that's involved, but we need to do this first step first. Like, this campaign's got a very large funding goal in it, like, and we need to hit that before I can start drawing up plans for plushies. Like, I've got a like rendering thing for a Krishna Kid 3D statuette thing, but that's ridiculous. Like, I don't even have the book out yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, and those things are so expensive. And I've written about a year ago, maybe longer, I wrote this like mathematical formula that I was passing around in the back rooms that like you can use to calculate like your book costs you know. So you say this is, you know, it's like art times pages divided by the other like variables or whatever. And so over time, like I extrapolated that into this big calculator thing that crunches the numbers. And it's really expensive. Like most of the books that fund, like if you make less than this number that I have got, like unless you are drawing it or doing like the bulk of the work, like I don't understand how it's possible for you to make a profit, let alone break even. I think that is the true like reason behind late campaigns, and it like that people are having to dip into their real life monies, like to continue the project that they've already signed up for, and people are demanding from them. Like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have this fixed goal, that I don't want to be in a position where I have to put half of the money in myself when I've already put loads in, like just to get the campaign made. And then I don't want people to chase me like for like I'd rather fail like and be like, oh, at least I don't have to do that, like let's try again, like in a different way. And I'm kind of hoping that all of my other books by now, you know, they were 400% funded or whatever, and there's a bit of momentum lost, like the, you know, there's less of a fight or whatever. And this time I'm going to have to fight until the very last day. I like to sell books, like and I'm hoping that that's gonna work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got the first issue done, like the pencil's done, and who's your colorist on this? Is
Vinny as well? He's coloring.
Oh,
it
Vinny's
as well.
doing the colors as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man. You know, so you've got it in process, and that is one of the biggest things, at least that I've noticed in this whole scene, is that, you know, having a large portion of it done. You don't have to have the whole thing done, because people do like to feel like they're partially involved, and they like to get updates, and they like to see new artwork and stretch goals. But you know, having a large portion of the project done, and to be able to show that it is in process is, you know, is huge. You know, people like to know, especially considering how long we've been in this scene, and how many different campaigns we've seen, you know, make a bunch of money and just disappear. You know, people are a lot more wary now. So seeing more of this stuff done, seeing, you know, the plan for, you know, not just the funds, but the book itself is important. So
Silvar in the
I
chat
think you'll hit your
says,
goal.
Silvar in the chat says that 10K isn't that bad as fixed goals go. That's if I can't make 10K like off of this book, like that will make me like equal to what the comic book hut, and the comic book hut has more YouTube subscribers than me, like which I find like outrageous.
This is an affront to all. So everyone go back this book now. Seriously, this story is gonna be awesome. I'm not like I said, I'm not super familiar with Hindu mythology, but from what I remember,
and that's what's great.
studying,
like so many. It's not a slight on anyone, but we've seen so many like Norse gods books, less Egyptian gods books, but people still know that. Like, and imagine like being the first person to like run down into the office or whatever and be like, "Oh, I've had this great idea. Let's do a book about Thor," and everyone goes like, "Whoa, Thor! Like, how come no one's done a book about Thor already?" It's like,
right.
And that's how I feel like right now. Like they've got this great character that's just been sat there waiting for someone to like come and do this too.
To do something fun with. Absolutely, man. Like I said, it's an untapped niche, you know, and you know, you've obviously done your research. Like you said, it was something you've been interested in for a long time. You read these a long time ago, and it's been kicking around in the back of your head for a while. Like, and what was it? What About said it was waiting for you to tell this story. You know,
It's a privilege.
yeah. Well, I mean, and the stuff you've been telling me, it seems tailor made for comic books and manga and animation. Like this would totally make an awesome cartoon, and I would totally watch this.
Me
Oh,
too.
Yeah. Oh, we got a Nefarious in the chat. What's up, Nef? Good to see you, man. Thanks for
Hello.
coming to hang out.
Nefa actually has a cameo in Krishna Kid. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of owed him a deal. I owed him like a favor or whatever. So I've put him in here. He'll get a nice surprise, like when he finds out what happens to him.
That's funny. So, did I ask you when you were planning to fulfill?
Oh, in like 6-month intervals, and it like
Okay.
So
but I mean,
this
like
one,
for the full.
this one can start going out straight away. Issue
Right.
1 will be in 6 months. Issue 2 another 6 months after that. Issue
Okay,
3.
so I mean, it's kind of like a almost like a, I don't know, subscription. Especially depending on what you get. You know, if you get the issues as they come out, then you'll get sent issues as they come out. And speaking from experience, when I was a kid, getting comics in the mail on a regular basis is fucking sweet. You know, just that regular fix, that, you know, not having to go anywhere to get them. I mean, yes, we get, you know, we get comics in the mail because of the campaigns and whatnot, but having them show up on a regular basis, I mean, ask anybody that's been getting stuff from Alterna, you know, having comic books show up on a regular basis, it's fucking great, you know, so. Yeah, that's awesome. I like the business model, man. You know, you've always,
I mean, it just makes sense to do it like that because that's how he's gonna do the book, like an issue at a time anyway. So, like, I'll just be sat here on them waiting till
right.
the
Why
whole
wait?
thing, yeah, like when we can get like another a round of photos on Twitter of it delivering, another little tour like of all going on, isn't it good, etc. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it feels like the obvious way to do it.
Well, I mean, and it engenders, you know, it lets the people like have something instead of waiting like this entire length of time for a single book to show up, you know, and they get this one hit. They get a little hit at a time, you know, they get a little bit of the story, you know. I think it's a fucking great idea, man. And then at the end, you get the trade. So theoretically, everybody could, you know, get the, where are you? Where are you? You're down here somewhere. I know you are. Could get the first issue, you know, and the supplemental, you know, the Ash Can. Get all this, you know, quickly. The T-shirts, are they print on demand? Are you getting a total
they'll
order?
they'll just be like a print on demand thing. So again, that's a thing that can be fulfilled right away. And when you go into each tier, like you know, only the things that are going to be available when that book is done, like are on there, so you can pick and choose. Like, so yeah, if you just backed issue 1 and then all of the add-ons available with issue 1, you would get that in like 6 months and have a big haul of stuff already in it, like in time for when the issue 2 haul of things is added. And now there's a green t-shirt that you can buy with it, like do you know what I mean? Like that's how.
So, that's awesome. So there's going to be obviously extra things added, and I know you've got stretch goals up your sleeve as well.
Like an obvious one that's not too spoilery for me to say is you know how so far the Duryodhana Purana and Krishna Kid issue 1 have anime manga variants.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna do that for issue 2 and 3 as well in it. I just don't have the artwork yet to show in it, so they're not even available to buy on the campaign yet. Like
right.
That's the kind of thing that I'm gonna keep adding like over the next few weeks to try and like keep pushing that total to that magic number that I need, where I get $0 and Vineet gets to have a year off working, like, and just draw pictures in his apartment that we paid for by his pictures. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, living that artist life. That's fantastic, man. I love it. I you know, that part of the story is you know, just the icing on the cake, man, because he's doing great work and he deserves to be able to you know, just work. You know,
there's a whole
do what
thing
he loves to
like,
do what he's passionate about.
I had to write a letter to his university on it, like to get him to have permission to like do it, and you know, I sent this letter on like COMMI3MARK headed paper in it, like, and talk like COMMI3MARK in there, like about the glorious revolution that we're gonna do, like, and overthrow the comic industrial complex and stuff. And you know, he had to go and hand that into university, like, you know, to some stuffy receptionist woman or whatever, like, and it's got a picture of me like on the top with my communist t-shirt and stuff. I love it.
That's fantastic. You know, I mean, it's you know, if anyone thought about it, it would probably baffle the mind. But you know, here we are, and here is the book, and he's getting to, you know, do the work that he wants to do. You know, and freedom from the university. You know, I find it funny that they required like an actual letter, like basically saying, yes, I am actually paying him this amount of money to draw this book. You know, he's not just fucking off.
Because
wow.
like he has to do like a certain amount of like work experience, like in the year, like, so this counts for that now, innit? Like whereas before,
wow,
he had to paint signs like for $1.50 a day, innit? Like so getting this job's like huge for him, like can really help a brother out, like real hardcore. But only if the campaign funds on it, like that's the thing. Otherwise I gotta be like, Vineet, sorry bud, you back on the streets. Like back to
sorry,
you
gotta go back to the university now and painting signs for $1.50 a day. So come on, let's help Mark and Vinny out, and let's get them there. Let's get them there. 28 days left. You know, only little over 7,000 left to go. Right.
We're 20% funded. Like the percent's the number that I keep looking at, because it doesn't matter what currency we're in. Like that always stays the same in it. And my hope was that by the time that I wake up on Monday morning, that we would be at 33% in it, because we used to have this old adage that, you know, you'd make a third in the middle, a third at the beginning, a third like across the next 52 days or whatever, and then another third like at the end. And we're at 20%, but I honestly believe that we would already be at 30% if we wasn't being shadow banned on Indiegogo, and it like if it was showing up in the trending, I'm sure that we would have picked up the extra like 18 backers or whatever to get to a third of the way.
Because you're already at 42 backers. That's great, you know.
It's in the first 2 days, this book did what Not Daredevil did in the first week, and what Best Career did in the first month. And it's easily the best start that I've had, and it's still like more than possible. Like there's still a long time left. Nefarious in the chat asks, "Is it because of the Klansman in your last book?" I think it is. That's what I think that I'm being shadow banned for having the Klan as villains with little swastikas on them as villains.
They be fucking villains? How stupid is that?
Apparently, Nazis are a protected class now.
Yeah, I know, Past Master Dan. Anybody that's actually paid attention to any attention to history, but you know. Algorithm's gonna algorithm, I suppose.
Yeah. Hitler screwed me over again.
Yeah. Yep. Fucking bastard. Always. Fly Feline says, I really love the plushie that should come with this too. Well, we gotta get him funded first, and then maybe that's a stretch goal. You know, and Pester Indiegogo. We're like, yo, why is this shadow ban? This is bullshit. This is mythology that is underserviced and underrepresented in comics, and we need to see more of this. I mean, there's such rich mythologies everywhere to create. You know, why do we keep going to the same wells that we've already seen plumbed over and over again? Let's do something new. Let's do something exciting. Let's branch out. And this is branching out.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, so I think the shadow ban is a result of my edgy boy humor coming back to haunt me. When Indiegogo demanded that I took the swastikas off the Ku Klux Klan guys, I replaced it with little Indiegogo logos, which again, while cool and punk or whatever, I think may have pissed them off a little bit. Maybe paying for that right now.
That's fucking brilliant. Can't have a sense of humor apparently, Indiegogo, huh? I'm sorry. Don't like looking in the mirror? Oh no. That's fucking hilarious, man.
It's fucking stupid. I should have just not done that. But
yeah. I mean, it's a snipe at them, and yes, you got the last word, but did you? They kind of got you back for it because you are using their platform. But I mean, it's Mark. Free thinkers are dangerous. We can't be having people showing them up on their own platform. Thinking for themselves. See, Feline. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, what else do you want to say about Krishna Kid and just your stuff in general? What's next for you after Krishna Kid?
It depends.
Is this the thing for the time being?
There is enough material that I can make Krishna Kids until I'm 65 or whatever. Not Krishna Kids, but I can play in this universe for decades. This book, the Duryodhana Purana, I really like. I get a real kick out of writing tragedies, and the story of this is so good. So the next campaign, I might do 3 Duryodhana Puranas and a Krishna Kid or something like that. I haven't worked out exactly the structure of the next thing.
Well, that's okay. The next thing is allowed to be nebulous at this point.
What I do know though is that this campaign doesn't have a trailer yet because I paid an Indian rapper to rap me a Saturday morning anime opening song for the
Ah!
book in it, and it's great. Like it's so good. And then I thumbnailed out like a fake like anime opening credits thing like for it. But to make that, I need 90 different images on it. Like, and this campaign has like maybe 10 interior images, like at the most, like something like that.
Right.
And there wasn't enough to make like the vision that I had for the trailer. So I decided I'd rather just not make it like at all than like compromise on what I wanted to do.
Right.
But then for the next book, like that will be ready in it because I'll have those images that I need.
Sure.
When they make those anime opening credits, they've already made the whole series in it. Like, and they can just go and like grab out the frames that they want or whatever. But yeah, so that's the only definite thing
awesome.
I know about Krishna Kid 2, that it's gonna have like a sick trailer.
Hell yeah. You have that song ready. You got it. It's something you paid for, and you got it in your back pocket. You know, and you know, at a certain point, it could be a stretch goal that people get the song as an MP3 because you know people dig that shit, man. You know, the multimedia approach I think is awesome because you know people love being able to wear shirts. People love music associated with the project. You know, it adds to the I don't know, the interaction with our reality, you know, because when we read this stuff, we're visiting that reality, right? But the merch and stuff, it kind of I don't know, anchors them to our reality.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you know it gives us a chance to like represent shit that we like, you know, represent shit we dig, you know.
Like
And, go ahead.
I've seen people like when I was showing off the t-shirt thing, and they were saying, "Oh, I would just wear that in real life." Like,
Yeah.
and that's great. Like, you know, you're a human billboard when you're wearing a t-shirt with a logo on or whatever. So yeah, exactly.
You
Notice
know,
I am like logo free, like because
yeah.
unsponsored.
Right. Well, I mean, except for the logo and you know on your wall in your background, but you know what else? gotta be on brand. Gotta be on brand.
That's an icon.
Yeah. That's a sigil, is what that shit is. Feline says, "Is Bali rap a thing?" Probably. I know. Bloodywood is kind of a Indian street rap. Mixed with heavy metal.
Yeah, I've found that there's like a famous Indian rapper called Krishna, but with no I, which is another way of spelling Krishna without the I. But instead of an S, he's got a dollar sign in it, like
That's fucking
typical
great.
like rapper name to do it.
Yeah, totally.
Like imagine changing your name to Jesus the rapper and putting dollar signs like in the S's.
Right.
Like,
Oh damn, that's brilliant. You know, just playing with that mythology. Well, awesome. I can't wait to hear the song. Hopefully we'll get to see it you know, sooner rather than later. You know. Maybe you know, have you looked into getting like just like an actual like animated trailer made? You know, I know a guy.
Yeah, I spoke to that guy in particular. Like, but it was by the time that I spoke to him, there wasn't enough time to like do it. And again, if the campaign funds, I can go and speak to that guy again. I'm like, remember that very big number that you gave me?
Yeah.
Well, look, like,
So we need to get Mark funded, y'all. We need to get this book funded so we can continue with the Krishna Kid universe. You know, because there's look at this cool shit. like exploring untapped mythology that, you know, a lot of people, like most normies, for lack of a better term, don't know anything about, you know, not familiar with. You know?
Most people maybe know Ganesha, and
Mm-hmm.
that's from The Simpsons or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Because of a poo.
yeah.
You know, it's funny, they accused that character of being a stereotype, but I mean, he had so much depth of character, and, you know, introduced a lot of people to, you know, Indian culture.
Yeah. Yeah, they try to say that Apu is a negative stereotype, and like the hardworking immigrant worker, like that's a negative image to portray of someone.
Is that's like the most that's the most amazing, like, inadvertent self-own I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh
Like,
yes, this man that owns. I mean, you're the dating episode where every single woman in Springfield wanted to go on a date with the poo because he owned his own business. He made his own hours. He made good money. You know, he didn't drink. Like, he was a good dude, and he went on date after date after date after date. You know, up until his parents fixed him up with a wife. You know, it was a great episode. You know, but you know, what does lived experience mean? You know. At any rate, I love this concept, man. I love the book. The campaign page. You should be very proud of yourself, sir. It looks wonderful. You know, visually striking, engaging. So we just need to get you funded, man. Oh, okay. We didn't touch on the trading card set. So obviously the trading cards have the same kind of pseudo embossing look on them, but these are your three main characters.
That's right. Yeah, like the COMMI3MARK, I'm calling them, even though that's a different thing. Those are by another Indian artist that I've been doing some work with. Who, well, like there's his art. Like, I really like it. It's got he's like a generation like younger than me, so his influences are things that were made by the people influenced by the things that influenced me, if that makes sense. So like the specific example I'm thinking of is, you know, like a Ben 10. Like,
yes, totally. I can see that.
Got like I can feel some of that, like, in his artwork, like which I think it's one of the things I love is seeing these characters reimagined in different art styles, but because the designs are so like well coded, like the characters like always shine through, like regardless of what style they're drawn in. Like I love that.
Absolutely. That's awesome. This kind of Avatar, The Last Airbender. This piece kind of reminds me of. You know, and I love the interconnected, you know, the background and the tree.
That's because that interconnected background is just because when I was putting the mock-ups together, I just got one image like of a field or whatever, and I dragged it all the way across, and I was like, oh, I like that. We'll make the backgrounds all interconnected on them. Like that's just how that happens.
Sometimes things just, you know, the solutions just present themselves, and you just got to roll with it, you know.
And again, like, one of the things I'm really conscious of is that I want everything to feel like a complete set. Like so you'll get them three, you put them down, you'll be like, yeah, that's the complete set. Like that's what I want people to feel. Like, you know, there's that rewarding feeling that you get when you put the last one of like your collection in, and you're like, boom, I got them all. Like
that satisfaction of, as a collector, having all three issues together, you know, and they're in their bag and board, and they're sealed up, and they're like in their place. Oh yeah. I hear you, dude. That is definitely a good feeling. I have some work that you know, commission work that I have to finish, and then I'm actually going to be reorganizing this, and I'm looking forward to that exact feeling. So I hear you.
Nice.
Said that. I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure what you said, but yes, you probably did. Ganesh on Supernatural. Kali on Supernatural. Yeah.
Kali makes an appearance in the Duryodhana Purana. Not as a main character, but she does make an appearance. Like, will again make appearances in the future of the universe. Whatever.
Ah, shit.
And this guy, the bird guy, Garuda, like, I've got basically a whole issue of his story, like, that I could just do. Like, but again, you need to get funded to, like, make sure these ones are done so I can get another artist, find another Vinny, and be like, okay, here's your assignment, and then do this Garuda book, and I can add that into the campaign, like, get another. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
trying to do a whole phase, like, in one campaign.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, get the interest in the story. The story is definitely there. It's getting eyes on the campaign, getting the story out there to people, getting the people, you know, to pick it up. Kalima.
Go and buy it if you're in the chat, please. Like, while it's not funded and it's a fixed goal, like, you can't lose. Like, if we don't achieve funding, you'll get your money back automatically, innit? Like, so there's no reason.
That's how Indiegogo does it. Yeah.
Risk, even if you just back this, that's already done, you'll definitely get it. You can't lose, innit? Like, I've removed like a chunk of the risk.
That actually does remove a lot of the risk because you know, large chunk of this is done. You know, so just got to get over the funding hurdle. That is the biggest thing right now. And you got just started the other day, but that doesn't mean sleep on this because remember, where is it? I know you're down here. Where are they? That is so fucking cool. What is this going to be an add-on?
Yes, it's an add-on for the making of the book, and that will tell the story of, like, how I came up with the idea, like some concept work, the story of what happened with the old artist, the new artist. Maybe I'll put the letter to Vinny's University in there, like, you know, those kind of things. And then it'll have like a fan art gallery. We did a fan art contest, had so many great entries that it would be a real shame, almost a disgrace, like, not to use in some way, like,
yeah. Man, this is so Kirby. It's ridiculous. It's wonderful.
This was I think the first entry to the fan art contest, and I messaged Dax Martian back straight away, and I was like, stretch that out into a wraparound cover, and I'll make that the cover, like, of the fan art book or whatever that eventually became this making of book.
That's awesome. I dig it, man.
He's so great. Like, I think I've had a Dax Martian thing on every campaign that I've done so far. It's
excellent.
Cool.
I dig the style. Frog G says, I'm not saying that backing Krishna Kid will bring peace and enlightenment to your life, but he's not saying it. But
not just this life,
right? But the next. But remember, limited time for his original pieces, so you know, get them while they're available, because once the campaign ends, these are gone.
Well, when the funding period ends, I'll take them off. Like,
oh shit! So even more limited than I thought they were.
Yeah,
so when it's funded,
I have purely included them to help us get to that target number in it. And once we've achieved that target number, there's no need for them to be on there anymore. So
Right.
we'll take them off again till the next campaign or whatever, like
Yeah.
whatever I decide to do with them.
That's a good call. So limited time only. Get them now. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to say? I mean, I realize I asked that a while back.
Yeah.
What's up, Cement Shoes? Thanks for coming to hang out.
It's a cool name. No, I've got nothing else. Like, other than just standing here and begging like the audience and shaking a cup at them, being like, "Please, help me."
You guys will enjoy this book. Mark always puts together a good product, and look at the heart and the soul put into this, and the dedication to this story. Plus you get to help Vinny out and keep him from having to get like a government job. He can keep making comics with Mark. So
that'd be great.
Right? And Feline says she feels all enlightened already. Oh, wait, that might be the wine. All right, guys, I want to thank all of you for coming to hang out. Mark, I want to thank you for coming to hang out, man. We've known each other for a long time, and I think this is the first one-on-one conversation we've had. We need to do this more often, man. Like, I realize it's really late for you now, but thanks for coming to hang out, dude. It has been great talking to you.
That's cool. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me show you my thing.
Dude, you've been kicking ass all over this scene, and I am wicked excited for your newest project, man. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm proud of the fucking work you've been doing, man. Seriously,
it's very kind.
It's cool to fucking see. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming to hang out. And let's see. Let me find the outro here. And we will see you guys next time. Later.
Bye.